I've been a student of the food system for about 10 years, trying to understand how what we get in the store, what we get from farmers, impacts the way that we feel and our health, impacts the way that we relate to our environment, and impacts the local economy. And it's a really complicated system, and one that it's really hard to wrap your mind around, and I'm only just beginning to. And they've done an incredible job tapping into resources and connecting partners that one might not have imagined was possible, or that there were liabilities or reasons that we couldn't be reclaiming food from places like school districts, from places like restaurants, and have brought in Thurston County Food Bank and Senior Services and other organizations to be part of a system that's getting food safely from the place that it's not needed to the place that it is needed, and that's in the mouths and bellies of families who are experiencing poverty.
Thurston County Public Works and Washington Department of Ecology have made funding available to help organizations who serve seniors and other folks in the community to rescue food that is good food that would otherwise go to the landfill. And of course, you know, Public Works has motivation to keep food out of the landfill, especially food that is perfectly good to eat. In America, we waste really a lot of food. I think the estimate is 25% of our household food that we bring into our home gets wasted, and maybe 40% of all food is wasted. And that's just a shame when there are people who are hungry.
The food recovery thing is just something I was excited about because it just seems so simple, like a simple concept that really has a big impact, and it's just positive from every aspect that I can, at least from my perspective. And what that looks like is, you know, we go and pick up food from food service providers like, you know, a real good example is Bon Appetit at St. Martin's University. Leftover food that they maybe wouldn't have had an outlet for in the past, maybe it would have just ended up in a landfill. And this is really high quality, nutrient dense food. Instead of that going to a landfill, we pick it up every Friday. It comes to our kitchen, our amazing cook sorts it and kind of gets it in all the right spots, gets in the right volunteers' hands, and then we use that food to feed people.
This whole system of helping people that need help and supporting them is really based on relationships. Relationships with other organizations, with businesses, with private donors, with volunteers. And it's the relationships we have that strengthen our community. I can't stress enough how important it is to nurture those relationships and the opportunities for people to work together. And the more we get siloed or live in our bubble or get isolated for a while, the more those relationships become at risk. And that's when we fall down, we make missteps, or more importantly, we miss opportunities that were presented, like this one with solid waste.
Food is so important to our cultures, to our families, to our communities, to our economy. It's what binds us together. And one of the things that's so exciting about now being focused on food is that we found something, essentially we found literally the common ground that brings us all together. But when it comes to food and feeding people, especially those that are hungry in our community, we're all on the same page.